keep it real, y'all. Keep it real, y'all. Gotta keep it real, y'all. Keep it real, y'all. Gotta keep it real, y'all. Keep it real, y'all. Gotta keep it real, y'all.
Money to businesses. They have an app that they do, and it helps like bypass like if you have like credit, issues or something like that. So we kind of just wanted to connect with y'all and see like we're really looking for investors. So maybe with Fearless Fund, maybe there are some things that you guys may have to offer for like funding or anything like that. Maybe you could tell me more about that.
I'm not able to, but the young lady up there at the big fan to take she can give you a little more information about that.
Okay, no worries.
I'd love to get
Thank you. And if you know anybody else like who's looking for a lender like where they don't have to pay back, that might be something to spread around. Thank you.
My name is
Jasmine, okay.
$20 billion in loans to the Black community by 2028.
Okay.
That is our goal.
Okay, so you definitely need to connect with them then.
Oh.
Yeah, my company is called Lenderblock Corporation, and I make software. My app is called the Lender Platform. It's going to allow you to lend and borrow peer-to-peer without having a FICO credit score. It's all based on collateral. So we have collateral lending for people who don't necessarily have as much capital as they need. They can't go through institutions as well as they need to. We have this system, and we have 6,000 members right now. What I'm here for is to procure lending capital. I'm looking for some big wealthy person who wants to invest maybe $10,000 even that I can use to distribute to my borrowers because I have to take care of them. And they've signed up and they're looking for someone on the other side of the peer-to-peer relationship to fund them. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, and then how would that get distributed?
So I guess when you pay us, when you buy shares in our company, we'll probably have discretion over how we end up lending it out based on who's most credible, who's been having the most transactions, stuff like that.
Are you Atlanta-based or?
We're a Baltimore, Maryland company, so yeah. I made this app when I was in college. I do electrical engineering, but this is like.
How did you get into this?
I had a friend who showed me Ethereum in 2017, and I was like, well, smart contracts, and I just started making this. It runs off of smart contracts. Let me show you the app.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna tell you about the brand that I'm with. So this is a platform, an app that basically lets people use money. They have like lenders that they're set up with. So what attracted me to your business was the financing aspect.
Yeah, help people get SBA loans, 401k rollovers.
Okay, cool. So they're looking for people to lend money, more investors, because what happens is, or people who are already owning businesses but need financial help and to help build up their capital. Yeah, so they would lend the money from the app, and then from there, that would, however much they lend depends on how. So this just kind of bypasses that, and it's a lot more user-friendly because it's, all within the app. But if you're interested, whether you are looking for even more capital for your business, or you're looking to invest into other businesses.
Who needs capital if they start up in a business, it might be good.
Yeah, for sure.
For you guys,
for sure, yeah. Be for somebody who's lending and somebody who would be, getting the money through the loan.
But it's all app-based?
I believe, yeah. So he has a mobile app platform, but you can also go website. Like they have a website, but I think all of the operations is on the app. And it's Android and iPhone, so it works for both.
It allows you to lend and borrow peer-to-peer without having a FICO credit score. The entire purpose of my coming out here is I have 6,000 members on my app. Most of them are on the borrowing side. They've created credit lines. They can choose their own interest rate and their own minimum monthly payment. But on the lending side, I have a little bit of an inequality. I need to have more lending capital flood in. So I'm looking to supplement that by getting several large-scale investors to kind of just basically act as though they are a designated lender on my platform. I'm looking for $10, even $20,000, $30,000 that can be invested in my company for shares of equity that I'll then distribute through my own discretion to my credit lines based on their credibility, their recent activity, and just how much money they generate for the company in general in terms of transactions. So, like I said, 6,000 members across the world, blockchain-based, a very cheap company to run. I don't actually have to do much. The software runs itself, and the operating cost is very low. I'm saying this because clearly you're investment-oriented. I'm trying to paint the picture here that it's a very risk-free investment. Like it's when you lend us money or when you invest in our company, I'm going to take that money and immediately lend it out to borrowers. It starts to compound interest, and those borrowers must repay that money per the terms and conditions, either via...
So what happens if they don't have the money and they can't repay it? What happens then?
So our platform is collateral-based, so the collateral will be distributed, and their credit limit will be equal to the amount of collateral put down. That's if they use the collateral system. But there's also something called blender verification, in which we allow them to bypass collateral in exchange for submitting information and completing a form that states that we can hold them accountable in a court of law if they don't make their payments back as they are.
Right, but this is a problem that, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be.
No.
But yeah, this is a problem that creditors have, like credit cards.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where people will use credit cards and they won't be able to pay it back. So now they're going into lawsuits on these people. They're submitting lawsuits on these people, and they still can't pay it back. So they're having to negotiate a price. You see what I'm saying? You can't sue
through third-party litigation, and it does. I mean, third-party debt collection. It does get to be tricky.
Right.
But that's what my company is specified to do, is to make sure that we're the ones who sue or litigate against our delinquent borrowers, unfortunately, and get that money back so we can reinstate our lenders.
Right.
So,
but how do you sue a broke person?
Well, you garnish wages. Well, firstly, we garnish wages. We confiscate. Well, it's not called confiscating, but it's basically confiscating assets that can help to balance out the debt. But those are the two methods that we probably use. And if that doesn't work, then we do third-party debt collection, where we then negotiate with that third-party debt collector for a portion of, which is not ideal. And we wouldn't be assigning credit limits to people that are too high for what we've seen in their
high risk.
Yeah. Like we're looking at their pay stubs, they have to submit what they make per month. It has to be recent. They have to verify their address, that they have an actual place that they live in with utility bills. They have to verify their proof of ID. So we do know who they are, and we do know that they at least have cash flow. We're not going to, like I said, we're not going to over-allocate credit to a person.
Yeah.
So
that's dope, man. I'd like to check y'all out, man.
Yeah. May I give you a folder? I'll be giving out a little folder to people who I think are a bit more serious in terms of the investment proposition.
Yeah, I'm really gonna
Yeah, please send me an email. On one of those documents, there's an email. If you open this folder. How are you, man? Cool. Nice. There's a real estate investment.
Yes, initially land. We teach people how to actually go and acquire raw and vacant land. So the nice part about our business, man, is we come in, we actually have a tax deed program, and we have a direct to mailers program.
Okay.
It's a whole academy.
Got it.
Yeah, man.
Do you guys do any other types of investments at all?
We do.
You do?
What type of investments you do?
Well, I'm looking for lenders or really investors to become large-scale lenders on my platform called the Blender platform.
Okay.
You can create a credit line on my app, and you can choose your own interest rate and minimum monthly payment as a borrower.
Okay.
And then as a lender, you can look at all the available credit lines created by other people and lend to them. My problem is it's a peer-to-peer app. I have 6,000 members. Most of them are on the borrowing side. My lenders I need to supplement my lenders with an investor that wants to give me $20,000 to $30,000 that I can use to distribute to my borrowers.
Makes sense.
Because that's what they're looking for. So I'd like to talk about my startup called Lenderblock. I know you guys are talking about buying homes, but if you're looking to diversify at all, I have an app through my company called Lenderblock Corporation. It's a lending and borrowing platform in which you can create your own credit line as a borrower, choose your own interest rate and minimum monthly payment. and there's a lender you choose from any of the available credit lines that borrowers have made, other members, you can lend to them and receive their payments back as if you were the bank. So what I'm looking for, I have a peer-to-peer system with 6,000 members. I have a lot of members who joined as borrowers, but my lending side needs supplementation. What I'm looking to do is to get a large-scale investor, maybe even $20,000 to $30,000 really. I can take that money, distribute it as lending capital into my credit lines at our discretion based on the borrower's accreditation, their amount of money that they have generated for the platform in general. I lend it out, and then that money will immediately start to accrue interest. So it's going to immediately start to gain return on investment. As they make the repayments back, you're going to make money. And I have the legal precedent to hold them accountable via court of law if they default, or there's a collateral system by default. This app allows you to create a credit line with your own interest rate and your own minimum monthly payment, and other people can lend you money. So it's a peer-to-peer lending and borrowing network. And I have 6,000 members on the app. I show you, but I use my phone for recording equipment. And I have too many borrowers. I need more lenders. I need around $20,000 to $30,000 from an investor that I can receive in exchange for shares of equity in my company, Lenderblock Corporation. And then from there, I'll lend that out to my borrowers per my discretion based on who earns the most money for the company, who's the most credible. And as they make repayments back, interest is compounding on that money being lent out. So
you're looking for a lender.
I'm more so looking for an investor that's okay with my using their funds to lend to my borrowers. So an investor that believes in the vision, that believes in the company mission and things like that.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
Write your name down. I'm sorry. You finished. I'm so sorry. I do apologize. I'm going to just finish this.
And I do have a folder. I do have a folder I've been giving out to people who are more interested in the investment side.
So I help them go through the purchasing of the property and then leasing of the property. So
I have some extra little things in there that I like to. So this is a flyer describing what the app does. This here is my email you can contact for investment inquiries, our subscription program, just some little things in YouTube. I want you to see that we're a holistic company. So we have 8,000 subscribers on YouTube, a subscription where we earn $7.98 a month from I think around 20 subscribers right now. And of course, we earn commissions from every transaction. So if you want to invest, we're well-rounded. You can check us out.
Right. Here, put your information down.
Okay. My name's Michael. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, nice, man.
Give me more information.
So the whole thing is, Gabrielle's been telling you about this whole system. The Blender platform is an app that I made through my company called Lenderblock Corporation.
Yeah.
So what we do with this app, you can lend and borrow peer-to-peer without needing a FICO credit score.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
the cool thing is, for businesses like landscaping, if you need more equipment, let's say you need more anything, mowers, anything, trimmers, if you need that capital to buy that up front to then recuperate those funds when you actually have done the work, you can repay that,
It's kind of like
through
Stripe,
the app.
how Stripe give out loans and stuff.
Stripe does give out loans. It is kind of similar to that.
That's awesome,
We
man.
want to provide you with an alternative means to procuring the credit that you need for your business. So you create your own credit line, you choose your own interest rate, you choose your own minimum monthly payment, you put that out there on the dashboard, and then from there, other people can become your lenders and lend you money. And then they receive your interest compounding payments back. So you don't need the bank anymore, you're using people to help facilitate your business goal.
So it's like a loan marketplace sort of.
It is a loan marketplace. That's exactly it.
That's powerful, bro.
It is. I want you to at least download this app, create an account tonight. Because the thing is, we give out credit limits for people who become Blender verified, and you don't need any collateral. So we can give you your $500, $5,000 credit limit, right? Every business owner needs it. There's not a single business that doesn't need more credit. Every business. Yeah.
I mean, no matter what stage your business is in, finance is always an issue.
You always need more money.
Credit building, especially in the startup phase, is like a big thing. People are trying to figure out how to manage your money, how to figure out your assets and all of that. And, it's a process.
Right.
Building your credit score, despite what they say, it isn't always as easy, when it comes to taking care of your responsibilities and stuff like that. That's why I think this platform is so great, especially because like the interest rates, let's say you make your purchases, but your interest rate is going to be high because you didn't have the money to pay on the back end. At least it kind of gives you that flexibility there. And you can kind of figure out what works for you, before you end up going to those other companies that, have like really strict criteria.
No, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
She explains it so well.
You did good. Yeah, I like
She explains it so well.
I would definitely download this.
Yeah, man.
I'm
iOS, Android, and the website's going to be available in 5 months. 2020 is when I actually created the company. And I made this app when I was going to Morgan State for electrical engineering. So it's been in existence since 2020. So each credit line has its own interest rate, but you can kind of assume that the average is around 9%. You receive around a 9% compounding daily return on your investment, because every single dollar that you've lent out must be repaid, including the interest that's compounded on the debt that the borrower has accrued by withdrawing your money. So I have a full system, and all you have to trust me for is that I can actually litigate against the borrowers who have become delinquent and get back the money if they default.
Send them to collection.
Yeah, that's the only thing that you have to worry about, and I have that covered. I have the legal precedence to do so.
So just to put it in simple terms, right? Let's say let's just put it in small terms. Let's say I'm one person looking to loan out money. Let's say I loan him $1,000. Let's say I loan somebody $1,000 at 9% interest. That means there's $90 per week, per month.
Well, if it were compounding once per year, you would have $1,090. That is true. At the end of the year. But because it's compounding daily, you're going to have much more than that. Because it's compounding daily.
And then what
so
kind do you get out of that?
I get a 5% of every single transaction that goes through. So every time that they make a repayment, or they make a withdrawal, or you have lent money, or you change your mind and reclaim the money you've lent, that 5%. I also charge a small fee to create a credit line. And also there's a subscription package on the app that allows members to have extra features like sending money to people throughout the world without any fees. I don't charge a wallet maintenance fee, which is like 1.3% of the balance of the wallet. Things like that. I give like tiered privileges on the app if you have become a subscriber. So it's a full business, and that's why I'm offering shares in the company. I think at this point, after 4 years, we have a robust enough company to where the shares are actually valued at something. And I think, if you do become an initial investor in our seed stage, it will become something that you're pretty happy you did in the 10 years or so. So that's what I'm offering. If you guys are interested in the investment aspect, let me give you a folder. I give a folder out to people who are more interested in the investment side, because I have my contact information for you to give me any serious inquiries based on what I've described.
And it's only 20 to 30. That's the minimum maximum.
Yeah, I could take more, of course, but I think 20 would be.
The money you got. What's that?
I think 20 would be more than adequate. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so
man.
much.
Michael Lewis.
Thank you guys so much for your time. You guys have a great one.
Appreciate your time, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, the genius that takes the piss out like this.
And I love what you're doing.
Thank you. And I love what you guys are doing is great too. Thank you. Yeah, man.
Be safe. Perfect customer. You guys are?
Ashley.
Jake.
And what do you guys do?
We are entrepreneurs, but he's the main head of our entrepreneur.
Okay. Well,
We
what's
have
your
an investment company called Nalise Investments LLC, and we also have Pivotal Logistics and Management LLC, which is a logistics company that focuses on dispatching and managing trucking and logistics companies. So we help the company get their EIN, LLC, their MC Authority startup, DOT numbers, any stickers or signs that they need for their trucks. Pretty much getting their whole business together so that way they can be fully compliant and ready to drive on the road.
I love that. I mean, I think that compliance is a really big thing, especially as a startup and just a business in general. When you're starting your own thing, it's different than having a company where everything's kind of all set in stone. You got to start from the bottom and, build it all the way up. And if your ducks aren't in a row, it kind of sucks because, once they audit you, it's over, and it's kind of hard to get back in that position, where you were in good standing. But I love that you guys said like marketplaces and things like that. So this would probably be a great platform for you guys to look into. So just to tell you about the platform is called Lenderblock. And basically what it does is it lends credit to businesses that are looking for capital without having to have a perfect credit score and without having to worry about the high interest fees. So he created the app right here. This is the founder, Michael. And so he's just going to tell you a little bit more about the program and just how you guys could possibly get involved with it as well.
Yep, everything she said is spot on. So the app is called the Blender Platform. It's going to allow you to lend and borrow peer-to-peer without needing a FICO credit score, and you get to choose your own interest rate and your minimum monthly payment. So the whole deal is you put this credit line out and you're looking to attract lenders. So the lenders, when they choose your credit line, which they think you're going to be profitable to lend to, then they're going to receive your repayments back. So you're not going to be repaying the bank, you're repaying people, real human beings. So the whole objective is to remove the monopoly that the banks have of the financial system and to make a more
kind of like private lending in a way.
Private lending, and it's really a more commune-based system.
I'm a capitalist, but it's a commune-based system. Exactly. You know what I mean? And the whole thing here is I have a lot of borrowers. I have 6,000 members on this platform. I don't have enough lenders. So they're all borrowers. They're all borrowing. So I'm coming here to InvestFest actually looking for people to invest in the company, buy shares in my company, and then I'll use that money to allocate to my borrowers' credit lines per our discretion. So that's kind of the whole platform here. If you guys have ever been in a situation where you've needed more capital for your business, which every business needs more money, right? Which business doesn't need more money? More credit, more capital, or more diversified credit options. This is something that's growing every single day, and it will be very, very useful to all of our members. I think it's good for you to start now, because what you do is you build up credit history on the platform, and you make it easier for people to know that, okay, this is a person who I can trust, because they've been on the platform for a year, they've received some repayment, they've received some lending contributions, and they've made a couple of repayments. So to get started and build your history, it's going to help you really, really well. And I say, one more good piece of news, our website is coming in 5 months. So right now we only have iOS and Android apps, but the website's going to turn everything upside down. We're going to have such a huge influx of lending money coming in. I'm telling everyone, join now while you can, because we're growing. We're growing. So yeah, we use collateral. Collateral is our default system. So you actually start by putting down a fixed $5 of collateral when you create your credit line. That's your credit limit. But we encourage everyone to not continue on the collateral path and to become Blender verified. Because then I give you a credit limit that's irrespective of collateral. I'll give you a $500, $700, $2,000, $5,000 credit limit based on how much money you bring in per month. Also, you need to show proof of your residence and show proof of your identity, and also fill out our form and submit all that through our online portal. I give you a higher credit limit. You don't even need collateral. So you just are receiving a FICO-free, collateral-free credit line that you can use for your business. The only thing is, I do hold you accountable in the court of law if you fail to make your payments. I would, yeah. As you should. Yeah, that's the only.
All right, guys. So I'm back in the house now. Back from InvestFest, which I gotta admit, we filmed that like a good 2 weeks ago. But I have been so busy. I have a lot of content coming. I'm filming this outro video now because I forgot to film one at InvestFest. But don't worry about it. We are here for you guys. And I hope you enjoyed the content. As you guys know, I was just reaching out to various business owners and just getting a feel for the general interest in becoming a large-scale investor in the Blender platform, and Lenderblock Corporation specifically, for the purpose of providing us with capital that we can use to distribute out to our borrowers per our discretion. So there's a lot that has been going on, guys. So busy. You're going to see the content. You'll see exactly why I've taken so long to put this out. But once again, power to your wallet. Things are going really well. The progress has been very, very tactile. It's been tangible. It's been strategic. It's been noticeable. The transactions on the platform have been going up in frequency and also in volume of transacted funds. So I'm really happy. I can't thank anyone but my YouTube subscribers, my app users, the people who have been supporting me from the first, deployment of the Blender platform app. And I just hope that more and more of you can join in and benefit from what I have to offer with the Blender platform, and as well as the partner platform, which we will start focusing on again pretty soon. So thank you all. Subscribe, of course, and power to your wallet. Let's go.